y'all? Welcome back to an episode of Rolling Bomb. I'm your host, Zach Moore. We're back to cover and break down the Toyota Owners 400 that wrapped up at Richmond Raceway. My gosh, I thought I was going to come on to this show and, talk about a lackluster and complain about the package of this race. But we ended up having one of the most exciting and wild and drama-filled finishes in Richmond Raceway history. It was probably ended up being one of the most exciting, if not the most exciting Richmond race we've seen in the next gen era, the Gen 7 era. But before we get to the end, let's just start off at the beginning. There was some rain in the area, and NASCAR made a call to throw on the weather tires, the rain tires. They don't have rain flaps or a windshield wipers. It's the foggers and rain tires, I believe. And they said, hey, all right, we're going to throw those on and let them rip. And boy, did they let them rip. And I thought the racing for the first 30 laps of this race was great. Drivers were moving around, searching for grip. It was exciting. It was entertaining. Now, the leader, Kyle Larson, kind of set sail for, a second and a half lead. But everything else was super, super exciting. NASCAR chose to throw a competition yellow around lap 30 because they wanted to give teams the opportunity to check on the tires, make sure how wear is okay. I wasn't a big fan of that, and a lot of people were either, because I felt like why not give the teams the opportunity, give them the chance to when they want to come in, because they do it for road courses, but I guess for short tracks, speeds, tighter, I don't know, they just chose not to. And also, it just took forever because they also did non-competition pit stops, so no one was going to lose a spot on pit road. That took time. They had to keep driving pit road. It was a long, long yellow flag. 11 plus laps of just caution laps. It just killed the whole momentum. I felt like you could have kept the flow of the race going really, really well, and I think that you just killed it there. And then they restarted stage one, and the 5 took command, really just dominating the race. We saw, Truex, Hamlin, Logano up there, battling up there for the top of the spots. If we fast forward to the end of what would have been stage one, we had some contact between the 4 and the 99. I would probably blame it more on the 4. He kind of was up the track. Just an aggressive move there by the 4. I'm not sure he got loose. Spun out the 99, and then there was around 7. I think it was with 7 laps to go, 6 laps to go in stage one, and NASCAR chose to just let that flow and let those 7 laps wind down. And then they went back to, they were going to do non-competition style pit stops, but then they had the pit road dry enough, so they had competitive stops. So that was good. So they got to figure it out, but just too many, the cautions need to be shorter. We probably could have gotten out a restart in there with, 7 laps. I know it's about 3/4 of a mile track, but still, I didn't like that. Kyle Larson ended up winning the stage. I thought he was the top fastest guy in that stage in the beginning, and really the first half of the race, in my opinion. But we ended into stage 2 restart. It was the same old stuff. Larson was able to take control and really battle, but we saw a lot of great racing, 3 wide throughout the field. A lot of drivers, different strategies going on, different people, different spots. Ryan Blaney, I gotta say, he had just a terrible day. He was the no factor. We saw Chase Elliott up there in the top 10, Alex Bowman, Joey going strong, Truex able to get in his positions, and we had a nice, good, long, I would say, 60-lap run, and then we got to our first green flag stops. It was really interesting. A lot of the cars, front runners, leaders, like Truex a lot, and I would say it was Truex, Logano, Hamlin. Saw Ty Gillen up there at times. They all kind of pitted, and Kyle Larson stayed out. And I guess the whole goal was to hopefully make it on a 2-stop strategy for stage 2. It was the longest period. It was 160 laps long stage. And all the interviews, I think we're going to end up doing it on a 3-stop strategy. So less stops, but maybe more time on fresher tires. And it was a really interesting strategy because I wasn't really good at math, and still not, how it was all going to play out. But I ended up second. Martin Truex still lead overall. Or as the catbird seat at second, while Larson was getting lapped and passed by faster cars and the fresh tires. And it all worked out where Larson ended up hitting, and he lost the lead. He was running 8th, but then he had almost like a 15, 20-ish lap of better tires. And I thought, okay, this is how it's going to go. Now Now hopefully we'll jump up and take advantage of Truex. But then we had a caution with Kyle Busch smacking the turn one wall. It was a very questionable call, in my opinion. It probably did not warrant a caution, but then Elton Sawyer, post-race, who was the VP of competition, said that it looked like it could have been a blown tire or a brake failure by the Kyle Busch, and that's why they threw it, which makes sense. But that just threw the whole strategy, whirlwind. Hurt Kyle Larson, I guess, because then he put him, he had fresh tires, but it put him at 8th, and he's not going to restart first with older tires when everyone else is behind him, so he ended up hitting. It ruined a bunch of cars that were one lap down, like Alex Bowman, who was a top 10, almost a top 5 car. He had to then restart from the back of the field, so it really just screwed up the whole overall strategy of things, hurt some guys. And also, I think it was the more reason it was such a big deal was because the caution was such a questionable call, like it maybe shouldn't have been called. And then restarting stage 2, and it put Truex out in front with Josh Berry and Joey Logano out there. Kyle Larson was second and fourth, and Truex was really able to prevail, but Larson was able to kind of get back up to second, but not really gain much at all in that run, and Truex was able to win at stage 2. We began that final stage, and we saw a battle between Martin Truex and Kyle Larson. Truex was able to prevail and just really dominate, keep a good second half gap. And then that's where we saw Christopher Bell come on strong in that stage, and he chose to stay out during the first cycle of green flag pit stops. Truex and Larson pitted, no issues there. Larson was able to stay in front of Kyle Larson, but then Christopher Bell ran really, really long, and then he came into pitting. I was like, oh, here we go. Does Christopher Bell have some speed here? He's going to have an advantage on tires, but he ended up speeding on pit road near the last stage of the pit road, so that really killed him. He was able to get his lap back on speed and pass the leaders, but it was too late. So who knows about what he could have produced there. He could have had a challenge for the lead if he didn't speed, but that's what happens. You can't make mistakes in these situations, and he did. That really just kept the lead there with Truex and Larson battling. We saw Hamlin and Logano up there, 1, 3, and 4. I think Logano was third. Denny was fourth. And it really the racing just was really strung out. The lap tracking was the only time it really got interesting, which it always does in short tracks. But then it ended up going to one of our final green flag pit stops, which we thought could have been our final, with Truex and Larson pitting together. Truex and Larson both had a really, really both great pit stops, but we thought Larson was able to then get out in front of Truex, but it was tight. He kind of squeezed Truex there, and I thought they made contact leaving pit road, and I thought, oh man, Larson has not been able to pass Truex all this race when Truex was out in front. Now will it be the same thing for Truex? But no, Truex was a madman. Passed Larson within 2 laps. I mean, the Kyle Larson picker was hyped after getting a great pit stop, which it was. But Truex's speed, I mean, he just passed Larson with authority, and it was, whoa, okay, Truex's car is legit fast. And he just kept that lead, but then we saw Denny Hamlin end up then running long. He had ended up having an 11 lap fresher tires with about 40 laps to go, and he fell back into 6th or 7th place with 6, 7 seconds. Those tires were a factor. They had an advantage. It wasn't like they were not an advantage, which was a good thing. And it was really exciting because I thought, okay, Truex is still too fast. I don't think even with Hamlin. But then we saw Truex get into lap traffic. Larson's car was fading. Joey ended up passing Larson in that run, and Hamlin was coming on. He had a rocket ship coming. And I thought, oh man, is Truex actually, is he fading? Is his handling not there? And Denny's car was coming on strong with those new tires. And we're getting down to like 20 laps, and Truex is struggling getting around these lap traffic like Ross Chastain, and Hamlin is coming. He ended up passing Larson for third, and then he was battling really hard for second. But then it looked like Hamlin's car ended up fading a little bit. Joey's car came on strong. Truex was able to clear the lap traffic, and it looked like with 5-ish laps to go here, Truex was going to prevail. And then all of a sudden, with 2 laps to go, bang, caution's out. The 5 car is spinning. And it's holy crap. It's no way. Mind's blowing. Twitter's blowing up. We ended up then having, looks like the 23 got into the 5. The 5 got loose, maybe checked out. They ended up apologizing to each other. 23 apologized to Larson, all good. And then all of a sudden, we're going to have an overtime finish. And the leaders all chose to pit. No one chose to stay out for some reason and take a risk. Maybe tires were such a big factor. After pit stops, Hamlin's team had a rocket stop. Got him out front. Truex second, Logano third. And Larson, I think, ended up coming out fourth. I don't know why, but he was in the wreck, but I guess only lost one spot from it. I thought usually you're involved in a wreck, you go to the back. I don't know. That was kind of a funky thing there. But then here we go, the restart. Hamlin below, Truex at top. They restart, and they race really hard into turn one. But Hamlin's really getting the jump on him in the restart. We'll talk about that later. Truex trying to side draft going to turn one, but Hamlin's really has the position on him, was able to end up clearing him going in 3 and 4, and it was just a aggressive drive by Hamlin. Stands out in front. Looks like Truex doesn't have the car there, and he ends up getting passed by Logano and then Larson, and then them two are battling, beating the bang, and coming to the freaking white flag to the checkered. Hamlin ends up winning the thing, and I don't know, it was some beating and banging between the Larson and Truex. Truex is mad, very mad. In a way, he has the right to be mad. Denny Hamlin steals a race. Wild. If we go back, let's break it all down here. The restart is the biggest talk about point. But first, we got to realize Truex being mad, in a way, he has the right to be mad. He was in a position to win this race. The post-race stuff, getting mad. He bumped Hamlin at the end of this race, and it ended up being in the post-race. He said that he thought Hamlin jumped the restart, and then he also felt like Hamlin kind of pinched him down or, ran up Truex at the track, which that's been known for him to do. If you look at the replay, it looked like Denny Hamlin did jump right before the line. It was close. Elton Sawyer, VP of competition, said, due to Denny Hamlin being the control car, they felt like it was close, but there just wasn't enough there to overturn it. Denny Hamlin becomes the winner. I just feel like NASCAR, you got to give a better answer than that. You have to really go into detail because it just doesn't look good. Everyone's talking about this. They're talking about this questionable call and not the end of this race. Now, there really wasn't much else to talk about this race. It was a pretty lackluster race. Wasn't as exciting besides the end. We need a freaking overtime for it to be considered a freaking banger of a race at the end. It's just not a great look. Martin Truex maybe got screwed out of the win. I felt like he probably lost his chance to win this race on pit road. After, the last pit stop of the day, and Denny Hamlin's team beat him. It's not great. Nothing has a sour taste and really ruins this race for sure. Top 20 finishers. I'm going to go in reverse order. Let's go 20th, Kyle Busch. Great rebound for him. 20th, Ryan Blaney. 19th, Chase Briscoe. 18th, Alex Bowman. 17th, Ty Gibbs. 16th, Ross Chastain. 15th, Eric Jones. 14th, Bubba Wallace. 13th, Noah Gragson. 12th, Josh Berry. 11th, great run for those two Stewart-Haas cars. 10th, Tyler Reddick. 9th, Chris Buescher. 8th, Brad Keselowski. 2 top 10s for RFK. William Byron. 7th, Christopher Bell. 6th, great rebound from that speeding penalty. Chase Elliott, 5th, also a great run for him. And then Martin Truex, the guy who should have won this race and got screwed over. And also his team didn't help him at the end with that not-so-great pit stop that allowed Denny Hamlin to take the lead. Kyle Larson, 3rd, great run for him as always. Won the pole. Car just wasn't good enough at the end. Did get spin, was able to rebound from that. And then Joey Logano, great rebound for him at 2nd. Needed this overall in points, so this should hopefully be some good momentum, especially going to another short track. And then Denny Hamlin getting 1st. Hey, congrats for him to win. 5th win of the season. It'll be interesting to see what he has to say about this race, and maybe he'll go in a little more detail on his views of the jump. It'll be interesting. I'm excited for this podcast. It's great when you have the winner that was a part of a controversial finish have a podcast. It's going to be exciting to see what he has to say about that. Let's go right into the rolling ratings. 6.8. This race was not that great overall until the end. And you need an exciting finish to really that's really what boosts the rating. But then it downgraded when you had this controversial finish with NASCAR saying it was okay and not giving us much context. It's just not great. We need to fix a lot on this short track package, but it just seems like NASCAR's not willing to budge and do the things. But hopefully we can get, a tire that could wear them more. Hopefully maybe we can get rid of shifting. But I don't know, man. I'm just sick and tired of this all these big tests we do every year, and it just doesn't make a big enough difference. We're really gonna have to freaking make a big jump if we really want to see improvement in the short track. Richmond's not the greatest track. Maybe hopefully it may go back to one day. We'll see about that. But all in all, fine race. Looking forward to Martinsville. Let me know what you think about everything I talked about today. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next one. Goodbye, y'all.